Hey everybody, Sandy here. Today we're going to be doing an iconic Halloween tumbler. I say iconic because we are all, well, most of us, I'm not going to say all of us because some people aren't aware of it, but Hocus Pocus, that's what I'm going to say, Hocus Pocus is my all-time favorite Halloween movie. I watch it as many times as I possibly can through the season. I don't spoil myself and try to watch it any other time of the year because I want something to look forward to. So, one of my favorite parts of this movie is book. Yep. The spell book. Winifred's spell book. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a spell book tumbler. And it's going to be 3D. Yes, this is going to be a bit of a time-consuming video. And I apologize if you want to skip through to certain other parts, totally get it. But I felt that this was worthwhile to do. So what we're going to do is use a 20-ounce tumbler, and I'm going to show you how to prep your tumbler to accept polymer clay. And I have a couple of different colors here. This is a translucent, which just means that it doesn't really have any color value. Because we're going to paint this, that doesn't matter to me. So we're going to use that. And that's what I had predominantly on hand, that. And I had black. What we're going to do is, because I'm not going to use this tumbler as my base tumbler, I am going to wrap this in aluminum foil. And I'm trying to keep this aluminum foil as flat and straight, well, flat as possible. The reason being is that when I put my pieces on here and they bake, it'll just pop right off for me. That's number one. Number two, the reason why I do it is flat and straight as possible is because I don't want there to be a bunch of wrinkles behind my piece because I'm going to be gluing them onto my permanent tumbler. So I'm going to get this wrapped up. Okay, I'm putting that aside. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to insert a picture, and this is what this book looks like. I'm going to try to come as close as I can to that. For starters, I think what we want to start with is we're going to start with the piece that goes around the eye, and then I'll make the eye according to the size of that. So we're going to start, I shouldn't start with the black, but I'm going to. All right. And like I said, this has been preconditioned, so we shouldn't have a lot of issues as far as this being very pliable, and we don't have any issues. Look at how nice that is. I just stuck something in it. Not that it matters. Like I said, we're going to be painting, but just take off a small piece here. We have to make the eyepiece that is also the lock on to the book. So we're just rolling out a little snake. I didn't pay too much attention to how much I grabbed, just that I did. And as we look at our tumbler here, that would be the focal point of our tumbler. So it would be something along the lines of this. Now, this is going to be texturized because that's what is on that tumbler. I'm just kind of pressing this down a little bit, not enough to flatten it, but a little bit. So I know what the size of that's going to be. Where is my... Well, I have little pieces that I put in the oven with the tumbler so that they don't rock and roll and disrupt my design. But all right, we have that. Now that's going to be texturized, and that will be done with, we'll texturize it after. But we're just gonna do it with the sanding block, with an 80 grit sanding block, and that'll give us enough texture so that when we do our paint over, you'll be able to see that texture. Okay, now we're going to do the back side of it has the claw, and I'm not going to make that huge, but I am going to do that next. Now, we're going to work on the eye. Okay, really quick, I forgot about the snakes that have to go on there. And then when I realized that I had not pressed record, I figured I better give you a shot of that. So here's one of the snakes. There's supposed to be two. I'm not sure that we're going to have enough room on the tumbler for them, but as you can see, all my stitches and stuff are done. And yeah, so now they're just going to get ready to go right in the oven to bake and sit, and then we are going to play. So, and I did texturize around the eyeball. I'm not sure how well. Let me see if I can flip on a light for you to see that. There. If I do it like this, can you tell? Probably not. There. Yeah, see the texture around there? That's going to pick up the mica or the acrylic paint, whichever I think we need to do. So, yeah, and then the texture on the snakes. So, when we come back, we are going to get these babies ready to put on our tumbler. Stay tuned, please.
Okay, all of our sculpted pieces have dried on here. All the glue's dry. You can see right here that I did do a test piece as far as the stitches go. And I kind of want them to blend with the tumbler, but I still want them to be noticeable. So anyway, I used sepia, Tim Holtz sepia ink. I was going to use acrylic paint and decided against that because I wanted it to be more translucent down toward the cup so that it would blend more, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how I do that, and then we'll be good to go. So give me just half a second here. And I'm just dabbing the ink on with a paintbrush. That's all. Now I can come back and lighten some of that up with alcohol if I choose to, because it's already been epoxied. That's the nice thing about doing it this way, is that if you want to take it up, you can. Not that you can't otherwise, but okay, looks like I need some more. I like that it's lighter in some spots and darker in the others. I really like that. So I'm going to accept that. Oops. Got a dangler there. Pull that off after. This looks pretty well covered, and there's a lot of depth in there without it being too much. I think that looks really cool. So I will be going ahead and giving this a couple of good coats of epoxy. And when we come back, we will have our final reveal. I'm going to clean this up a little bit too, by the way. There's little strings of glue, and as I feel through here, I will grab them and pull them off. They're just from the E6000. That stuff tends to be sneaky. So I'll get those cleaned up, and then yeah, I'll get this epoxied and you'll get to see the final reveal. So stay tuned. We will be back momentarily.